Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something today. Fear is the greatest thief of your future. It's the silent killer of dreams. It's the invisible wall between you and your purpose. Fear will whisper, "You're not good enough." Fear will lie and say, "You'll fail just like last time." And if you believe it, if you bow down to it, you'll stay in the same place, year after year, while life passes you by. But I came here to tell you that fear is a liar. Fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. It's smoke and mirrors, it's a phantom in the mind. Fear is powerful, but only if you feed it. Only if you give it your energy, your attention, your belief. You don't need to get rid of fear completely. You just need to stop obeying it. The people who do great things in this world, they felt fear too. Don't you think the entrepreneur who started from nothing was afraid? Don't you think the single mother walking into court to fight for her children was afraid? Don't you think the speaker who stepped on stage for the first time felt his knees shake, but they moved through the fear? They didn't wait for it to disappear. They stood up, faced it, and walked forward anyway. And that's what you've got to do. See, fear keeps you average. It keeps you quiet. It keeps you broke. It keeps you lonely. It keeps you stuck in toxic situations. It keeps you from showing up, from speaking up, from taking that leap. But when you face your fears, something shifts. You unlock courage you never knew you had. You awaken strength that's been sleeping inside you all this time. You begin to see, hey, this fear wasn't real. It was just a test. It was just resistance trying to stop me from my next level. You don't need to be fearless to win. You just need to decide that your purpose is more powerful than your panic, that your dreams are more important than your doubt, that your mission is greater than your fear. Don't wait for confidence to show up, build it. Action builds confidence. Every time you move despite fear, you get stronger. Every time you step forward, you steal power away from the fear that once owned you. You're not waiting on permission. You're not waiting on the perfect time. The time is now. Because the truth is, you will never reach your full potential if you don't learn to walk through fear. The life you want. It's on the other side of fear. The impact you want to make on the other side of fear. That new relationship, that promotion, that business, that legacy, all waiting on the other side of fear. And let me tell you this, the world doesn't need more fearful people. The world needs people with fire in their belly, people with a voice, people who are bold enough to take the first step even when they don't see the whole staircase. So stand up, speak out, move forward. Do the thing that scares you, look fear in the face and say, "You will not hold me hostage anymore." Because you were not born to play small, you were born to shine, to lead, to live boldly, to rise, to soar, and in order to do that you must have no fear. Would you like me to create a YouTube description, SEO tags, or timestamp layout for this speech too? Fear is not real, it's a story your mind tells you to keep you stuck in the same place. That's all it is, a made-up narrative, a tale created by the mind to protect you, not realizing that what it's really doing is paralyzing you. Fear whispers in your ear like a liar in the dark, telling you that you're not ready, that you'll get hurt, that you'll look foolish, that you'll fail. But let me ask you something. How many opportunities have you missed in life because you believed that voice? How many doors stayed shut because you were too scared to knock? That voice is not the truth. That voice is a defense mechanism born out of past pain, past rejection, and past disappointment. It's your ego trying to shield you from more hurt, not understanding that by doing so, it's also shielding you from more growth. It's shielding you from transformation. It's keeping you safe, but safety and greatness do not live in the same neighborhood. You've got to make a decision to evict that voice of fear and replace it with faith. There's a difference between danger and fear. Danger is real. If you're standing in front of a wild animal, that's danger, you better run. But fear is imagined. Fear is standing in front of a microphone, thinking you'll choke. Fear is walking into an interview, thinking they'll reject you. Fear is starting that business, thinking you're not good enough. It's imagined suffering, imagined failure, imagined humiliation, and the craziest part, most of the things you fear never even happen. You've got to stop treating fear like a fact. Fear is a feeling, that's it. You don't make life decisions based on how you feel. If you let fear make your choices, you'll live a life of regrets. And regret is far more painful than failure. You can learn from failure, you can grow from failure, but regret, you carry that. You carry it late at night when no one's around. You carry it when you see someone doing what you knew you could have done, but didn't because fear told you a story. You want to rewrite the story. You want to challenge the narrative. You want to interrupt the program your brain's been playing for years. You can't control the first thought that comes up, that fear-based thought, but you can control the second one. You can challenge it. You can override it. You can say, this voice is lying to me. This fear is not fact. This fear is a test, and I will pass it. And don't think for a second that you're the only one who feels it. Everybody you admire, they've felt it too, but they moved anyway. That's the key. They moved with the fear. They didn't wait for it to go away. They didn't wait until they felt ready. They stepped up and acted while their hands were still shaking, while their voice was still trembling, while their mind was screaming at them to sit down. That's courage. You've got that courage in you. You've got that warrior spirit in you, but it's been buried under years of fear-based conditioning. It's been smothered by comfort. It's been locked away by insecurity. It's time to dig it up, time to reawaken it. Time to say, fear, you've been my roommate long enough. You don't pay rent, and you're not welcome here anymore. You were not created to play small. You were not created to live in a box. You were not created to shrink yourself just to fit into someone else's expectations. You were created to soar, to lead, to blaze trails. But you'll never do that if you keep letting fear drive the car of your life. Take the wheel back, hit the gas, and know that fear will still be in the backseat, but you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to obey it. You don't have to believe it. You are not your fear. You are not your past. You are not your doubts. You are powerful beyond measure. And once you stop believing the lies that fear tells, you'll finally start living the life that truth promises. Growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone where fear tries to hold you back. That's where the magic happens, not in safety, not in routine, not in what's easy. No, the version of you that you're chasing, that bold, brilliant, powerful version of you, lives on the other side of resistance. On the other side of discomfort, right beyond that barrier where fear starts yelling at you, turn back, you're not ready, you don't belong here. That's when you know you're close. See, most people spend their whole lives circling the comfort zone like it's home. They build a house in the land of just enough hope to get by, just enough dreams to stay sane, just enough progress to feel busy, but not enough boldness to grow, not enough hunger to rise. They get stuck in routines, stuck in expectations, stuck in what feels safe, and they wonder why life feels unfulfilling. It's because nothing grows in comfort. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you did something that scared you? When's the last time your heart pounded because you stepped into the unknown? That's not a sign to retreat. That's a signal that you're alive. That's a sign that you're expanding, because real growth, it's not cute. It's not convenient. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. It's scary, but it's worth it. You've got to make a choice to stretch. Growth is a decision. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you stop running from the fear and start leaning into it. That conversation you've been avoiding, that stage you're afraid to step on, that risk you keep putting off. That's your edge. That's the place where the old you ends and the new you begins. Every next level of your life will demand a new version of you, but that version doesn't come wrapped in ease and luxury. It's forged in challenge. It's built through pressure. You've got to be willing to stretch until it hurts, not because pain is the goal, but because purpose is. You've got to rewire your mind to say, This fear I feel right now is a sign that I'm not shrinking. It's a sign that I'm growing. People say, but I'm afraid of failing. Good. That means you care. That means you're trying something that matters. But what you should really be afraid of is not failing. What you should fear is staying the same. Staying in a job you hate, staying in a relationship that drains you, staying in a body that doesn't reflect your potential, staying in an identity that was never yours to begin with. That's the real danger. That's what steals your life, not failure, stagnation. Growth asks something from you. It asks for your ego. It asks for your excuses. It asks for your pride, your past, your predictability. But it gives you something in return. It gives you clarity. It gives you power. It gives you access to your future. So the next time fear shows up, and it will, don't run. Don't hide. Don't tell yourself the same tired story of why it's not the right time, or why you're not the right person. Instead, smile and say, thank you for showing me the edge, because I know that's where my breakthrough lives. You weren't put on this earth to stay in the shallow end. You've got deep waters to swim. You've got uncharted lands to explore. You've got gifts to unlock that only appear when you dare to move beyond what you know. So step up, stretch out, lean forward. Let fear be the gate, not the guard. Because growth lives at the edge, and that's exactly where you belong. Fear is the liar that sits at your table and tells you you're not good enough. It whispers they won't listen to you. It screams you'll fail. But let me tell you something. Fear only has the power you give it. It only grows when you feed it. And far too many people are giving fear a feast every day by believing the worst about themselves. You've got to get this in your spirit. Fear is not fact. Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's true. Fear is a story. It's a movie in your mind playing every worst case scenario possible. But guess what? That movie is fiction. You're the director, and you've been allowing fear to write your script. It's time to take the pen back. It's time to rewrite the story. Think about all the things you haven't done because of fear. Think about the dreams you've shelved, the conversations you've avoided, the businesses you've never started, the chances you never took. Not because you weren't capable, not because you weren't ready, but because fear convinced you to sit down when life was calling you to stand up. Fear doesn't show up to stop you from failing. It shows up to stop you from trying. Fear wants to paralyze you before you even begin. Because if it can keep you still, it doesn't have to deal with your potential. It doesn't want to see you rise. It doesn't want to see you win. It doesn't want to see you break generational cycles, build something powerful, walk in your purpose. So what does it do? It talks loud, but baby, just because something is loud doesn't mean it's right. Here's the truth. The more you step into purpose, the louder fear gets. It starts throwing everything it can at you. Doubt, insecurity, distraction, but that's your sign, that's your signal. When fear gets loud, you've just hit a new level. That means you're getting close to something powerful. That means you're not who you used to be anymore. That means something inside you is waking up, growing up, and getting ready to show up. You've got to respond with courage. Now, courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Courage means you move anyway. Courage says, I see the fear, I feel the fear, but I'm not going to let it drive. You can acknowledge fear without bowing to it. You can walk with fear in your ear and still take the step, because the action is what weakens fear. Every time you do the thing you were afraid of, you shrink that monster. Every time you take the leap, you build confidence. Every time you speak up, show up, push through, that fear loses its grip on your life. Fear thrives in silence. It thrives in isolation. But when you start speaking life over yourself, when you say, I am enough, I am worthy, I've got what it takes, you start starving fear. And when you surround yourself with people who remind you of your greatness, who challenge your excuses, who see your light even when you feel dark, fear starts packing its bags. You were not created to be afraid. You were not created to live small. You were born with greatness inside you. There is a power in you that fear can't touch, but you've got to claim it. You've got to stop renting space in your head to thoughts that are trying to kill your destiny. You've got to evict fear from the throne and take your rightful place as the author of your life. So the next time fear shows up, don't shrink. Don't run. Don't apologize for your voice, your vision, your ambition. Look fear in the face and say, you can talk, but you don't make the decisions here anymore. Then take the step, make the move, write the book, launch the idea, start the journey, because on the other side of fear is freedom. And your future is too big to let fear be the reason you never found out how powerful you really are. Every breakthrough in your life will require breaking through fear. That's the toll you pay at the door of transformation. You can't tiptoe into greatness. You can't sneak past fear with your head down, hoping it doesn't see you. No, fear stands tall at the gate of every next level of your life, arms crossed, eyes locked, asking you one simple question. Do you really want this? And if the answer is yes, if your dream means enough, if your purpose burns deep enough, then you've got to face it. You've got to break through it. You can't have breakthrough without breaking patterns, breaking limits, breaking the chains that have held you in a mental prison far too long. Fear is not just some vague emotion, it's a system. It's built from past experiences, traumas, and voices that told you what you couldn't do, who you weren't allowed to be. And the longer you live within those walls, the more they start to feel like home, but they're not home, they're just familiar, and familiar doesn't mean safe. Familiar doesn't mean right. You've got to break out. You see, breakthrough is violent. It's not quiet. It's not passive. It doesn't happen while you're sleeping on your purpose. It happens when you wake up and say, I've had enough. It happens when you stop negotiating with fear, stop reasoning with it, stop giving it room to speak. You can't conquer what you continue to entertain. You can't be free and be friends with your fears at the same time. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable, be willing to be scared, be willing to feel like you're not ready and do it anyway. Growth is born in pressure. Destiny is birthed in discomfort. Every time you feel fear rise up in your chest, recognize it as a signal you are entering the territory where change happens, where old beliefs die, where new identity forms. That pressure you feel, it's the stretching before the shift. Don't let the fear fool you. It's not a sign you should stop. It's a sign you're on the edge of something bigger than you've ever experienced. Fear shows up loudest right before you're about to break through. That resistance, that voice that tells you to wait, to delay, to quit, that's the threshold. And if you press in, if you push one more time, the wall will break. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take the next step. That's how breakthroughs are built, not by perfect plans, but by relentless progress. You keep showing up. You keep speaking truth over yourself. You keep praying, keep grinding, keep visualizing the life on the other side of the fear, because it's there. It's always been there waiting for you to claim it. And hear me now, people around you might not understand. They might tell you to slow down, to be realistic, to stay safe. That's because they're living behind their own fear walls. But you've got to stop asking permission from people who have never been where you're going. You've got to stop explaining your dream to people who never had the courage to chase theirs. This is your life. This is your breakthrough. There's a fire in you that fear has tried to bury. It's time to fan that flame. Time to break the silence. Time to break the cycle. Time to break the limits. Time to break the lie that says, you'll never be enough. That lie has lived long enough. Let today be the day you break through it. Because your future is on the other side of this fear. Your healing, your calling, your legacy, it's waiting, not for a braver version of you, not for a more perfect version, just for the one who says, I may be afraid, but I'm not backing down, a breakthrough. The wall is thin, and your destiny is louder than your fear. Fear doesn't vanish because you wish it away. Fear doesn't pack up and leave because you read a quote on Instagram or posted a powerful reel. Fear leaves when you act in spite of it. It's not the absence of fear that makes people great, it's the mastery of motion in the midst of it. The ability to move forward, to keep pushing, even when your knees are shaking and your voice trembles. You've got to train yourself to move with the fear, through the fear, and beyond the fear. See, too many people are waiting to feel ready. But let me tell you something powerful: ready is a lie. Nobody is ever truly ready. Nobody wakes up and feels 100% confident every step of the way. No champion, no entrepreneur, no speaker, no world changer has ever felt ready. They just started. They moved. They showed up again and again and learned how to be dangerous even while afraid. That's what separates the successful from the stuck. Courage doesn't mean the fear isn't there. It means you've decided your mission is more important than your mood, that your calling is bigger than your comfort, that your dream is louder than your doubt. And when you make that decision, things begin to shift, because life rewards movement, not intention, not hesitation, movement. You must learn to take fearful action. It's not about waiting for the butterflies to fly in formation. It's about stepping onto the stage even if your heart is pounding out of your chest. It's about hitting publish, launching the business, having the conversation, showing up to the gym, even when your mind tries to talk you out of it. Because every time you act in the face of fear, you shrink its power. You train your brain to recognize that you're not fragile, you're a force. Fear thrives in stillness. It grows in isolation. But when you take action, when you start moving, fear begins to lose oxygen. It can't survive in an atmosphere of purpose and persistence. That's why people say things like, "I was scared at first, but once I got going, it disappeared." That's not magic, that's momentum. You build it by deciding that fear doesn't get the final say. And don't think you need to take a giant leap every time. No, start small, but start. Take the phone call, send the email, post the video, sign up for the class, write the first page, because the enemy of fear is movement. The more you move, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable. You rewrite your story with every step, and slowly the fearful version of you begins to fade, and a bolder, braver you begins to emerge. Let me tell you, it's not easy, but it is possible. The people you admire didn't get there because they avoided fear. They got there because they made fear irrelevant to their decision making. They understood that fear may ride in the car, but it doesn't get to touch the wheel. And one more thing, when you begin taking action in the presence of fear, you become a light to others. You become proof that it can be done. You inspire people who have been stuck in their heads for too long. You give hope to those who are still paralyzed by their past. And that, right there, is purpose. That is leadership. That is legacy. So I challenge you, don't just listen to your dreams, chase them. Don't just visualize the life you want, move toward it, even when it's hard, especially when it's scary, because that's when transformation is born. That's when the next level opens up. You are stronger than your fears. You are bigger than your doubt. You are more powerful than your excuses. So get moving, step into the arena, and don't stop, because your future is counting on you to take action right now, not later. Not when the fear's gone, but while it's still whispering in your ear and you move anyway.